Our little party of travelers awakened the next morning refreshed and full of hope, and Dorothy breakfasted like a princess off peaches and plums from the trees beside the river. Behind them was the dark forest they had passed safely through, although they had suffered many discouragements. But before them was a lovely sunny country that seemed to beckon them on to the Emerald City. The raft was nearly done. The Tin Woodman cut a few more logs and fastened them together with wooden pins. They were ready to start their journey across the river. Dorothy sat down in the middle of the raft, cradling Toto in her arms, ready for the adventure ahead. When the Cowardly Lion stepped onto the raft, it tipped dangerously due to his size. However, the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman quickly moved to the other end to steady it, using long poles to push the raft through the water. Initially, they made good progress, but as they reached the middle of the river, the swift current began to sweep the raft downstream, pulling them away from the yellow brick road. "This is bad," said the Tin Woodman. "If we cannot reach the land, we will be carried into the country of the Wicked Witch of the West, and she will enchant us and make us her slaves." The Scarecrow added, "And then I should get no brains." The Cowardly Lion chimed in, "And I should get no courage." "And I should get no heart," said the Tin Woodman. "And I should never get back to Kansas," said Dorothy. "We must certainly get to the Emerald City if we can," the Scarecrow continued, as he pushed so hard on his long pole that it stuck fast in the mud at the bottom of the river. Then, before he could pull it out again or let go, the raft was swept away, leaving the poor Scarecrow clinging to the pole in the middle of the river. "Goodbye," he called after them, and they felt very sorry to leave him. Indeed, the Tin Woodman began to cry, but he remembered that he might rust, so he dried his tears on Dorothy's apron. "I am now worse off than when I first met Dorothy," he thought. "Then I was stuck on a pole in a cornfield where I could at least pretend to scare the crows. But surely there is no use for a Scarecrow stuck on a pole in the middle of a river. I am afraid I shall never have any brains after all." The raft floated down the stream, leaving the poor Scarecrow far behind. The Lion proclaimed, "Something must be done to save us. I think I can swim to the shore and pull the raft after me, if you will only hold fast to the tip of my tail." He jumped into the water, with the Tin Woodman grabbing hold of his tail. The Lion swam with all his might toward the shore, exerting himself greatly. It was tough work for the Lion, but eventually they were pulled from the current. Dorothy used the Tin Woodman's long pole to help push the raft to land. Exhausted, they reached the shore and stepped onto the pretty green grass, realizing the stream had carried them far off the yellow brick road leading to the Emerald City. "What shall we do now?" asked the Tin Woodman, as the Lion lay down in the sun to dry. "We must get back to the road in some way," said Dorothy. "The best plan will be to walk along the river bank until we come to the road again," remarked the Lion. After resting, Dorothy picked up her basket, and they started along the grassy bank. The beautiful country was filled with flowers, fruit trees, and sunshine. Despite the cheerful surroundings, they felt sadness for their friend, the Scarecrow, who was in trouble. As they walked quickly, Dorothy paused briefly to pick a lovely flower. Suddenly the Tin Woodman exclaimed, "Look!" They all turned to see the Scarecrow stuck on his pole in the middle of the river, appearing very lonely and sad. Dorothy, worried, asked, "What can we do to save him?" The Cowardly Lion and the Tin Woodman shook their heads, unsure of how to help. They sat down on the bank, gazing sadly at the Scarecrow. Soon a stork flew by and noticed them, choosing to rest at the water's edge. The stork asked, "Who are you and where are you going?" Dorothy replied, "I am Dorothy, and these are my friends, the Tin Woodman and the Cowardly Lion. We are heading to the Emerald City." Dorothy continued, "I know this isn't the road, but we lost the Scarecrow and are trying to figure out how to rescue him." The stork then asked, "Where is he?" Dorothy pointed and said, "He's over there in the river." The stork expresses concern about the Scarecrow's size, but Dorothy assures her that he is lightweight because he is made of straw. The stork agrees to try to bring him back, but warns that she may have to drop him in the river if he is too heavy. The stork flies over the water to reach the Scarecrow, who is stuck on a pole. With her strong claws, she grabs the Scarecrow and lifts him into the air, returning to the bank where Dorothy, the lion, the Tin Woodman, and Toto are waiting. Once back with his friends, the Scarecrow is filled with joy. He hugs everyone, including the lion and Toto, and sings happily as they walk together. The Scarecrow shares his relief about being saved from the river. He expresses a desire to repay the stork's kindness if he ever gains brains. The stork, who enjoys helping those in trouble, explains that she must leave to care for her babies. She wishes Dorothy and her friends luck in finding the Emerald City and helping from Oz. As they move forward, the group is enchanted by the colorful birds singing and the vibrant flowers carpeting the ground. The variety of colors from the flowers, including yellow, white, blue, purple, and bright red poppies, captivates Dorothy. "Aren't they beautiful?" Dorothy asked as she breathed in the spicy scent of the bright flowers. "I suppose so," answered the Scarecrow. "When I have brains, I shall probably like them better." "If I only had a heart, I should love them," added the Tin Woodman. "I always did like flowers," said the lion. As they walked, they noticed more and more of the big scarlet poppies and fewer of the other flowers. Soon they found themselves in a vast meadow filled with vibrant poppies swaying gently in the breeze. It is known that the scent of the poppies is so powerful that anyone who breathes it in will fall asleep, and if they are not moved away, they may sleep forever. Unaware of the danger, Dorothy found herself surrounded by the bright red flowers. Soon her eyes grew heavy, and she felt a strong urge to sit down and sleep. Just as Dorothy was about to give in, the Tin Woodman intervened. "We must hurry and get back to the road of yellow brick before dark," he insisted. The Scarecrow nodded in agreement. So they kept walking until Dorothy could stand no longer. Her eyes closed in spite of herself, and she forgot where she was and fell among the poppies, fast asleep. "What shall we do?" asked the Tin Woodman. "If we leave her here, she will die," said the lion. "The smell of the flowers is killing us all. I myself can scarcely keep my eyes open, and the dog is asleep already." It was true. Toto had fallen down beside his little mistress. But the Scarecrow and the Tin Woodman, not being made of flesh, were not troubled by the scent of the flowers. "Run fast," said the Scarecrow to the lion, "and get out of this deadly flower bed as soon as you can. We will bring the little girl with us, but if you should fall asleep, you are too big to be carried." So the lion aroused himself and bounded forward as fast as he could go. In a moment he was out of sight. "Let us make a chair with our hands and carry her," said the Scarecrow. They picked up Toto and placed the dog in Dorothy's lap, then fashioned a chair with their hands and arms to carry the sleeping girl through the flower-filled landscape. They walked on and on, surrounded by a vast carpet of deadly flowers that seemed to stretch endlessly. Following the bend of the river, they eventually discovered their friend the lion, fast asleep in a patch of poppies. "We can do nothing for him," said the Tin Woodman sadly, "for he is much too heavy to lift. We must leave him here to sleep on forever, and perhaps he will dream that he has found courage at last." "I'm sorry," said the Scarecrow, reflecting on their comrade. They carried the sleeping girl to a beautiful spot beside the river, far enough from the poppy field to avoid the poison, and gently laid her on the soft grass, waiting for a fresh breeze to awaken her.